Today I have got something really fancy for you. Yeah, this is really heavily wounded caged crinolin from the 1860s, and it's really wounded. So it's unfortunately I had once one that was in much better condition, but I think it's okay to show you what I want to speak about and what I want to show you, because normally you cannot see these things so close, because you need an original to take it apart and to simply turn it around. In a museum you can't turn it around, so it's a good thing when you can just have a look at how it was made. These kind of caged crinolines were used in the 1860s. Before that, when you think of Gone with the Wind, this movie, you had much larger crinolines that were really wide, and this is an in-between time. Later on, this crinolines develop. You see here that it's still, the front is still a bit round, and later on this front will get really straight, and you just have this back bustle later on in we in Germany call it Turnierenkleid or bustle dress, that it's just in the back. That's in the 1870s up to the 1880s. So just to tell this, what you see is that these steel bands are covered. I don't know if it's to see here. As I said, it's really gone. You see here, it's like a woven cord with the steel in the middle. And the other crinoline I had, that was nearly the same, but just in much better condition. And you see that these are covered, and each steel band has, like this here, it's not, the steel is not going around and around. The steel is just put together here with such a crimp, whatever you see here. And these are changing, some every second one is on this side, and then here and there and here and there. So this is one thing. It's a very thin steel. It's maybe 1 millimeter to 1.5 millimeters, extremely thin. And on the bottom here, you see it's a double as wide as the small ones. So what's fascinating is you have here this band. You see here is the front, and this front is open. So it's not so much, these don't have to be well fitted for one person. These were really made, machine made. It was not made by tailors, but these were made in small factories. So why do I say this? I have to take it around just for showing. This is, as I said, it's an extremely wounded thingy. So this white fabric here is just to protect the old ribbons that were originally used. So you see this brown here, that's the original ribbon. And the other one I once had that was in much better condition had these, was extremely same constructed. Had the same construction. So you see this ribbon here, and the white thread here, that's also just to protect the original ribbon. You see here that the steel is going through a tunnel, and then I have to look for where I can show it you to the best thing here. Oops. You see, it's always a woven tunnel where the steel is going through these ribbons. And then later on there's something to fix it. I simply have to look for where I can show it to you, because it's not just these are fixed points. You see the little dot here? Here. It's just a round piece that's going. We have these two like nails going through the fabric and was put together in the back. So this is difficult to see here, but it's a little bit to see. We have a similar thing here in front of, where this is where your belly is, so the open front. You see the same here. It's this steel is, first of all, I try to make it better here. You see here, this is the steel is cut away, but that it's not going through the fabric somewhere else and doing damage. There is something put around, you know. Then the long elongated piece is put around, and then covering the steel on the other side. I hope it's to see. I hope you can see it, what I mean. Later on, to fix this, here is a leather sewn over it, and all the steels are fixed. You see this here. You see these small metal dots here. I hope it's to see. Yeah. And on the other side, you see that these are here. Well, better you have one, simple one. It's going with these two pins. It's going through the fabric, and just fix it on this place where it's meant to be. So, yeah, why do I say that? Normally, what I forgot is normally on these ribbons. Here's just the covering from over the brown original one, but they had like buckles like that were used in the back of the vest, of the men's vests, with these two thorns, so you could just put it on and do these, or do it as wide as you need the belt from this crinolin. When you see these ribbons with these tunnels inside, woven tunnels inside, loosely woven here. Here's no steel anymore, but because it's broken on some sides. Then you say it's not just a one-off item, but it was done in mass, because you have to produce to wave these special ribbons. You have to put all these little cramps, whatever, together, and also to simply buy this covered steel. But it was made as that the people who made it was done in factories, in little factories, where it was not done by a tailor, you know, not just one piece each, but they did it in mass production, and they had, you see this for all the material that was used, because it was most effective to make it also as cheap as possible, not to put in too much handiwork that also was in the mass also expensive. But they tried to find solutions with these little cramps, whatever, just put it through, put it together, and this you see that it's an early machine production, that it's really meant and made for these crinolines, and that these items are mass produced. You could buy them in shops, you could also buy them ready-made, you could also order them via catalog. This is the early fashion coming via catalog. With the dresses themselves, most of the people were sewing pieces themselves, but also these were later on tailor-made. But the undergarment like these were bought, and they were made in little factories. So I hope it was a little bit interesting to look how a cage crinoline was made back then in the 1860s. And I hope you have a lot of fun with making funny stuff and making beautiful costumes. I hope you learned something new today, and bye!